So this is chapter 7, Hot Deserts. So what are the physical characteristics of a desert? 200 millimeters of year annually, very dry. High insolation means it's very hot. It's a high pressure zone, 30 degrees north and south of the equator. It has temperatures exceeding nearly 50 degrees Celsius, and the soil is very thin and it's not very fertile, but once irrigated it could be, as it releases lots of nutrients. How are plants adapted to the conditions? For plants such as cacti have a large stem which is hollow to withstand lots of water. They have large buttressed roots which are very long and elongated to get as many nutrients as possible. They have a waxy cuticle like most plants to prevent water loss, and instead of leaves they have spines and thorns, again to wary of predators as well as prevent water loss because leaves have lots of stomata on the top of them. How have animals adapted? Well, animals such as the camel have large hooves to walk in sand and prevent them from sinking in. It has a hump to store fat which can be transferred into water, and long eyelashes to prevent sand getting in. Desertification. The meaning of desertification is the degrading or land becoming drier. Development opportunities in the Western Desert. 1. Mining. Lots of mining resources, lead, uranium, tin, iron, all are there that haven't been exported. Number 2, farming. Irrigation, large-scale irrigation is possible. Canals and aquifers, so there's permeable land at the top, impermeable in the bottom. Water goes through the permeable rock, but it cannot go through the impermeable rock, so there's a reservoir created. And also canals, these are all farming opportunities. Number 3, tourism, so many people obviously go to the desert to see, for example, Egypt, like you want to see the pyramids, or camel riding, etc. So it provides a good source of economy and profit. And last but not least, we have energy, so solar panels, as well as hydroelectric power, which I'm not sure how it works, but that's what it said in the textbook. What are the challenges? As I said before, we have the low precipitation, 200 millimeters annually. Temperatures very high, 50 degrees Celsius. Very dry soil, less nutrients unless if irrigated, and it also has lack of infrastructure. This means people can't travel and trade, etc. Some adaptations include the whitewashing of buildings. White is a reflector of light. Guys, physics exam, so white is a reflector of light, so then obviously it's going to get cooler. You have green roofs that collect water, or xeriscaping. Instead of using plants, you can use cacti to make the natural environment look appealing. Desert fringes are the borders of the deserts. These are they're full of vegetation, but they're very fragile. Fragile basically means delicate, and if any change in conditions can have a drastic effect on them. And the desertification obviously is expansion of a desert, and the desert fringes are expanding, and it's expected to increase. Human causes desertification over cultivation, which means growing the same crop. Again, as I said before in my previous videos, they're taking the same nutrients, so it becomes degraded. Overgrazing, so cattle, they take off the vegetation. It's exposed, soil erosion, wind blows away off. It cannot restore again. Third cause is the soil erosion, and number 4 is population, for example from refugees or like international migration. Obviously this results in intense farming methods that could be really hazardous to the local environment. How can we tackle desertification? To tackle desertification, there are many methods. For example, using appropriate technology, such as the efficient stoves. Again, they power mobiles, but they also heat the food. Another technique is bunds. Bunds are low stone walls. They collect water, so again, it could be used as a water source, but it allows the water to sink into the soil and allow it to infiltrate through, rather than just being on the surface. So that's very helpful, and it allows to irrigate the soil. And also the green belt, lots of trees can be built, and that's the green belt. So lots of trees being built prevents soil erosion because it infiltrates the water, again protecting the soil. So those are the ways that desertification can be tackled, and that's all of your hot deserts done.